Leaders of major world religions just met with the Pope to pray for peace. But why did they meet in the ancient Roman Coliseum? Find out in this Bible Prophecy Update. Hi, I'm Tim Rumsey with Pathway to Paradise Ministries. There is a lot happening right now in fulfillment of Bible prophecy. You don't want to miss any of it. Follow the link in the description of this video to sign up for our email list and to receive these updates directly in your inbox. On October 25, leaders of major world religions met with Pope Francis in the Roman Coliseum to pray for peace. The service, organized by the community of Sant'Egidio, marked the conclusion of the 36th International Meeting for Peace, held annually since 1986. This year's program, titled The Cry for Peace, brought together religious, political, academic, and cultural leaders from around the world. Participants included Pope Francis, Jewish, Islamic, Christian, and other religious leaders, the presidents of Italy and France, spokespersons from Google and Facebook, and over 100 other people representing various academic, media, and social institutions. The closing ceremony, held inside the ancient Roman Coliseum for the second year in a row, featured a collective prayer for world peace. The Roman Coliseum is an ironic place to pray for peace. For well over 300 years, this giant stone amphitheater served as the focal point of Rome's obsessive and apparently limitless fascination with violence and death. As National Geographic points out, when the Coliseum first opened, the Emperor Titus celebrated with 100 days of gladiatorial games. Emperors traditionally attended the games. The Emperor Commodus is known to have performed in the arena on hundreds of occasions. Aside from the games, the Coliseum also hosted dramas, reenactments, and even public executions. So how many people died in the Coliseum's gruesome forms of entertainment? Here's one estimate. It is believed that as many as 400,000 people, between gladiators, slaves, convicts, prisoners, and myriad other entertainers, perished in the Coliseum over the 350 or so years during which it was used for human blood sports and spectacles. That would be an average of more than 3 people that died in the Coliseum every day for 3.5 centuries. The Coliseum also served as the epicenter of Roman entertainment, a place where the average Roman citizen could escape the weary routine of everyday life and enter a virtual reality filled with drama, entertainment, adrenaline, and Roman spectacle. The Coliseum's distinctly Roman architectural form served a distinctly Roman function, that of spectacula. For the Roman emperor in particular, the Coliseum was a politically important space. The unique elliptical shape of the amphitheater both facilitated viewing of the arena's activities and facilitated the citizens' view of their emperor. Not only could the emperor create the illusion of his own accessibility, which the Roman people needed to believe they had, but it also allowed the emperor to showcase his power and generosity. By throwing games and spectacles, the emperor showed his citizenry that he cared about them, that he wanted them to be happy, and he allowed them the chance to at least believe in their collective influence over him with their chanting. Could the Colosseum be serving a similar function today? Is it possible that a modern-day Roman spectacula is being used to unite the world in a pleasant-sounding, yet deceptive and ultimately destructive call for peace? To understand the Bible's answer to this question, we must first remind ourselves that ancient Rome was never conquered. Instead, it suffered a gradual weakening followed by numerous divisions until the boy Emperor Romulus Augustus literally handed the crown of the Western Roman Empire over to the barbarian warrior Odoacer in the year 476. But that doesn't mean that Rome then disappeared from history. In the year 313, long before Romulus handed over his crown, the Emperor Constantine legalized Christianity and essentially made it the state religion. Following a similar cue, the Emperor Justinian recognized the Bishop of Rome as the leader of Western Christianity in the year 533. And as they say, the rest is history. The Pope's official title of Pontifex Maximus reflects the Roman foundation of the Roman Catholic Church. The same title was used by the high priest in ancient pagan Rome, and then in later times by the Roman emperors themselves. As the Catholic New Advent Encyclopedia states, the title of Pontifex Maximus, dating back to the times of the Roman Republic, was eventually adopted by the leader of the Roman Catholic Church. Today, the bishop or pope of the Roman Catholic Church not only serves as the leader of 1 billion Roman Catholics, he also rules the world's smallest, yet arguably its most influential country, Vatican City. Like the ancient Roman emperors, the Pope wields absolute power and authority. Consider this observation from Tom Doyle, a Catholic priest and former canon lawyer for the Vatican Embassy in Washington, D.C. The Holy See is the last absolute monarchy in the world today. The Pope, when he is elected, is answerable to no human power. He has absolute authority over the entire Roman Catholic Church, direct authority that reaches down to individual members. In the Roman Catholic Church, the office of Pope includes the three main offices of government. He is the supreme judge, the supreme legislator, and the supreme executive, so there's no separation of powers. There is no possibility of checks and balances. Now, you might think that Bible prophecy would say something about such a powerful and influential world power, and you would be right. The Old Testament book of Daniel predicts four great world empires, Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece, and Rome, that extend from Bible times to Jesus Christ's second coming. The empires are represented in Daniel 2 by a metal man with a head of gold, chest and arms of silver, and belly and thighs of brass. Rome, Earth's fourth and final empire, is represented by legs of iron. Daniel 7 represents these same empires with the symbols of a lion, bear, leopard, and finally, a dreadful and terrible beast with iron teeth and 10 horns. Christians have understood literally for centuries what these symbols represent. For example, the following explanation of this prophecy was written in the early 3rd century. The golden head of the image and the lioness denoted the Babylonians. The shoulders and arms of silver and the bear represented the Persians and Medes. The belly and thighs of brass and the leopard meant the Greeks, who held the sovereignty from Alexander's time. The legs of iron and the beast dreadful and terrible express the Romans, who hold the sovereignty at present. In the vision of the metal man, something interesting happens as the iron legs of Rome merge into the feet. And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, forasmuch as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay. The iron of Rome becomes mixed with potter's clay. Now, what does that represent? The short answer is that potter's clay represents religion. That's not my interpretation. That's what the Bible says. In Jeremiah 18, verse 6, God says, O house of Israel, cannot I do with you as this potter, saith the Lord? Behold, as the clay is in the potter's hand, so are you in mine, O house of Israel. So potter's clay represents religion, and more specifically, true religion that has wandered and drifted from God. Israel made that mistake in the Old Testament, and Christianity has repeated the same error. The prophecy of Daniel 2 predicts, therefore, that earth's final ruling power will combine the iron of Rome with the clay of apostate Christianity. Revelation represents this combination of political and religious power as the beast. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. According to the Bible, this beast power plays a major role in Earth's final events. It is the galvanizing force that unites the world in deceptive unity. It fights against Bible truth and makes blasphemous statements. It makes war with the saints and is drunken with the blood of the saints. And it seeks to control the conscience and to receive worship. The organizers of this year's International Meeting for Peace refer to Rome as the capital of peace. Perhaps they are referring to what history remembers as the Pax Romana, or Roman peace, which began in the year BC 27 with the reign of Augustus and continued until the death of Marcus Aurelius in 180 AD. During these years, Rome provided its conquered peoples with protection and a relative measure of peace in exchange for payment of taxes and submission to Roman law. However, it was also during the Pax Romana that Jesus Christ was condemned to death and then crucified. It was also during this period that countless thousands of Christians died as martyrs for refusing to participate in emperor worship. Some perhaps even died in the Coliseum to the delight of cheering spectators. So much for Roman peace. During the Middle Ages, the Roman Catholic Church was responsible for killing literally millions of Bible-believing Christians. The preferred form of extermination was burning at the stake. Eventually, virtually every dissenting voice within the Holy Roman Empire was silenced. No church within the limits of Romish jurisdiction was long left undisturbed in the enjoyment of freedom of conscience. No sooner had the papacy obtained power than she stretched out her arms to crush all that refused to acknowledge her sway, and one after another the churches submitted to her dominion. For centuries, the same violence watched with eagerness in the Coliseum soaked the nations of Europe red with martyrs' blood. So much for Roman peace. The Bible predicts that Rome will eventually regain its former power, and the world will enter a new and final period of Pax Romana. When this happens, worship laws and persecution will not be far behind. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and caused that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds, and tongues, and nations. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb, slain from the foundation of the world. The leaders of competing religious factions at the time of Jesus Christ were willing to accept Roman authority and reject the Son of God in order to save their nation. And one of them, named Caiaphas, being the high priest that same year, said unto them, You know nothing at all, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not. In their desperation to destroy Jesus, they even claimed, We have no king but Caesar. Only a few years after declaring unity with Rome, however, the Roman army under Titus came and completely destroyed Jerusalem. Religious leaders today are about to make the same mistake. They are prepared to accept Roman authority and leadership in order to save their nations from destruction by war, disease, and climate change. And the result of this visible but temporary unity will be every bit as destructive as it was 2,000 years ago. Now, peace is good, and the Bible instructs us, if it be possible, as much as lieth in you, live peaceably with all men. However, peace can never be purchased at the expense of truth. As the Bible says, to the law and the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. Light and darkness cannot be mixed, and neither can truth and error. Jesus knew that true biblical Christianity can never be combined with worldly power. This is why he said, Suppose you that I am come to give peace on earth? I tell you, no, but rather division. In today's cry for peace, the Bible is clearly being sidelined. Truth is clearly being set aside. One of the panel discussions at this year's International Meeting for Peace was titled, A Shared Easter Date, no longer a dream, but a necessity to unite the world. The October 24 forum called for all Orthodox, Catholic, and Protestant Christians to unite on a common day to celebrate Easter. The Orthodox Archbishop of the Syrian Church concluded his remarks with this astounding call to set aside Bible truth to achieve peace and visible unity. He said, Maybe we need to redefine our priorities as Christian churches with regards to this matter, even if this meant giving up many beautiful and important traditional, historical, and biblical aspects concerning the calculation of the date. Even if it takes us to celebrate the Sunday of the Resurrection on a Friday, we as a church are ready if it means that we will celebrate this feast united all together as Christians. The Bible says, Great peace have they which love thy law, and nothing shall offend them. Unity is important, but Bible truth is even more important. Peace established on any platform other than the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus Christ simply cannot last. We can only guess the motives of those involved in today's push for peace. Hopefully, they are genuine and sincere. But without Bible truth as its foundation, the platform of peace being established today is built on nothing more than the sandy floor of a spectacular Roman Coliseum. The Bible warns that a universal call for peace will immediately precede Jesus Christ's second coming. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. The cry for peace will be the final act in the Roman spectacula, and for a little while it will appear to be successful. The Bible predicts that the entire world will unite under papal leadership. And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast. These have one mind, and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. However, the results of this false peace project will be disastrous, because those participating in it will end up fighting against Jesus Christ, the true Prince of Peace. Revelation continues, These shall make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings. No one can stop the emerging Pax Romana, or the time of trouble that it will bring upon those that choose to worship God and keep His commandments. However, you can choose to follow Jesus Christ and Bible truth, and to not be fooled by the Roman spectacula that is sweeping the world. Will you choose today to give your life to Jesus and serve Him as the Prince of Peace? If you would like to learn more about Bible prophecy, please visit our website at www.pathwaytoparadise.org. There you will find many Bible study resources on a wide variety of topics. If you liked this video, check out this one or this one. And remember, The Bible has the answers that you are looking for.